For decades, the United States military has been tracking objects in our skies. Objects that break every known law of physics. Not seen by amateurs with cell phones, seen by combat pilots, radar operators, nuclear weapons officers, the most trained observers in the world. And they all report the same things, the same shapes, the same movements, the same impossible performance, again and again, across every decade, across every branch of service. The question was never whether these objects exist. The question was, what are they capable of? Lue Elizondo. Every pilot who reports a UAP risks their career, their reputation, everything they've built. These are not people who make things up. These are people trained to observe, to report, to be precise under pressure. And they all describe the same things for decades. Inside the Pentagon's most classified program, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, investigators built a framework, not to prove what these objects are, but to define exactly what they can do. 5 observable characteristics, documented across thousands of military reports, unexplained by any known physics or engineering on Earth: anti-gravity lift, instantaneous acceleration, hypersonic velocity without signatures, low observability, transmedium travel. If a reported object shows even one of these, it cannot be explained by anything we have built. If it shows all 5, it is beyond anything the human race has ever conceived. Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, home to hundreds of Minuteman nuclear warheads, missiles capable of destroying entire cities, sitting silent beneath the plains, waiting. In the fall of 1995, retired Air Force Major Daniel Gibson was aboard a KC-135 tanker conducting nighttime refueling operations above these missile fields when something descended from space directly in front of his crew. Daniel Gibson. All of a sudden, a very bright light. The aircraft commander and co-pilot saw it first. It descended into the aurora borealis and stopped. You could actually see the aurora flowing around it, just like a bow wave around the front of a boat. The longer it stayed, the brighter it got. And then it just shot straight up and was gone. What Gibson described, a controlled descent through the upper atmosphere, a sustained hover inside the aurora, an instantaneous reascent back into space, demonstrated 3 of the 5 observables in a single continuous maneuver. No heat trail, no sonic boom, no deceleration burn, nothing that any aircraft, American, Russian, or otherwise, is capable of doing. Lue Elizondo. I don't know of any object in our entire inventory that can stop mid-re-entry, hold position, and re-accelerate back out of the atmosphere. The G-forces alone would kill a human being, instantly. But what alarmed investigators most was not Gibson's sighting. It was what happened at the same base 28 years earlier. In 1967, multiple Air Force personnel watched a glowing red object making sharp 90-degree turns over Malmstrom's missile fields, moving from a dead hover to extraordinary speed in an instant. And then, moments after the sighting, 10 nuclear warheads went offline, simultaneously, without explanation. Their launch systems shut down. They could not be fired. Tim McMillan. There is a chart showing UAP sightings within proximity to nuclear facilities that house weapons systems. There is a distinct correlation. These objects appear again and again over the northern tier. If something could fly within proximity and take those weapons offline, that is not a physics mystery. That is a national security emergency. Narrator. The Persian Gulf. 1992. Broad daylight. Navy cryptologic technician Michael Villa was aboard the USS Mobile Bay, one of the most sophisticated warships in the American fleet, with some of the most advanced radar systems in existence. He had stepped onto the upper deck for air. The sky was clear. There were no flight operations scheduled. and then something flew directly over the ship. Michael, via. There was a pulsing sound I felt as much as heard, a very low frequency. I looked up, and there it was, the most pristine equilateral black triangle I have ever seen, flying directly over our ship as if it had followed our wake. No contrail, no jet sound, gone in 10 seconds. I went back below deck and checked the radar picture. Nothing. At the speed I had seen it moving, it should still have been on the screen. It was a direct overflight, in broad daylight, of one of the most sensitive warships on the planet. And it was invisible to every sensor we had. A radar-invisible, acoustically silent triangle, flying faster than any aircraft that should have been in that airspace, over an active American warship in the middle of the day. Michael Via was not a recruit. He was a trained intelligence operative. He knew every aircraft the Navy flew. He knew what radar signatures looked like. What he saw matched none of it. Lue Elizondo. They're putting together a mosaic from disparate pieces of data. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. At first you have all these little pieces scattered on the table, but little by little, the more pieces you have, the more the picture comes into focus. And the picture that is coming into focus is this. These objects have been appearing over America's most sensitive military installations for more than 60 years, over nuclear missile fields, over active warships, over combat zones. They have been tracked by radar and confirmed visually by trained crews. They demonstrate capabilities that no human technology, not American, not Russian, not Chinese, can replicate. And in at least one documented case, they appear to have reached inside a nuclear weapons system and turned it off. Lue Elizondo. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they're from. But the data is real. The witnesses are real. And the 5 observables are real. Whatever is out there, we owe it to ourselves to find out. The aurora borealis over Montana, vast and silent. A single point of light descends, hovers, and in an instant is gone.